Hey everybody, Prepper Nerd One here. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your weekend was nice. So we're going to get into this topic: what's wrong with kids today, and can it be fixed? And we're going to obviously it's a continuation of my earlier video today, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that situation. And we're going to get into and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to hurt some people's feelings tonight. And I won't swear because I don't swear, but I'm going to definitely hurt some people's feelings. And so please be ready for that. If you are a sensitive snowflake, please feel free to leave the chat now because I say it like it is. Anybody that knows me and follows the channel definitely knows I say it like it is. So just being honest. So anyway, guys, before we get started, I just wanted to mention a couple things. Family-oriented channel. So please, everybody be decent. No swearing. I would appreciate that. No racism, no meanness towards others in the chat. We all have a right to our own opinion, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my opinion and where I think what's gone wrong with this country as far as our kids goes and all that type of stuff and what I think can be done to fix it, okay? So that's kind of where I'm going to be coming from, all right? So, and if you do act like a jerk, you'll see those people lit up in blue. Those are my moderators, which are absolutely awesome moderators, by the way. And they take care of everything and keep things clean and don't put up with any nonsense. So I appreciate my moderators. Just wanted to say that right off the top. Okay, so let's get into this topic, okay? So earlier I did a video today. Very tragic event. And I did get one thing wrong. This accident didn't happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. It actually happened at 4:30 in the morning. And so you had 5 young people in the car. 2 were 14. 3 of them were 16. All right. The one girl that was the front seat passenger had taken grandma's car. Her friend of hers was the driver, a 16-year-old girl, and they were out joyriding. And I mean, again, I don't know if drugs or alcohol were involved because I haven't said so yet. But this accident happened at 4:30 in the morning. They went to a T intersection, didn't stop at the stop sign, went through the intersection, hit a tree. The only person that had a seatbelt on was the girl in the front passenger seat, the girl that took her grandmother's car. Okay, so she was the only one that survived, and she survived with non-life-threatening injuries. So she did have injuries, but she will survive. Everybody else was ejected from the car, and unfortunately, they all passed away at the scene. Now, I talked a little bit about placing blame earlier, okay? And so I'm more of a helicopter parent, if you will, and the aspect is that I was right on top of my kids because, okay, so we're going to go back a little bit further here, and I'm going to set a basis and a foundation for where I'm coming from as a parent, okay? As I've told you guys before, I was a horrible kid. I was a bad kid, okay? I did what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. Nobody could tell me what to do. I mean, I came home at 16, staggering drunk, stagger, stumble in the house and go to bed. I mean, that's the kind of kid I was. I was the kind of kid you didn't want your kids to hang out with. That's how I was. So when I had my children, my kids weren't getting away with squat, okay? Now, I will say, I'm very old school. So my grandparents, my grandfather, up to the time when my mom remarried, he was like my father figure. Still always in my heart will be my father figure. He passed away in 94. Okay, so he's been gone a long time. But he loved us, but he would whoop our butts, okay? If you stepped out of line, Grandpa would spank you. That's just the way it was, okay? I am not against corporal punishment. I believe in spanking your children if they need it. Now, people had talked about in the comments today, and we're saying that so many with nowadays with CPS, the parents are afraid to discipline their children because the kids are going to threaten CPS on them and stuff like this. Now, here's my take on that one. So we're gonna address these in chunks, okay? So my take is on that. If my child ever threatened to call CPS on me, I would hand them the phone and I would say, go ahead and call them, because by the time they get here, I will whoop your butt like it's never been whooped before, okay? Because you are not going to threaten me with that type of situation. Because now guys, when I say that I spank my children, it was on the butt only. Generally 2 to 3 shots on that butt, open hand. That's the way I disciplined my children. Okay, I can honestly say, Heather, I never had to spank her ever once in her life. Joshua, my stepson, I spanked him twice, and both times he was under 6 years old. And my son got whooped more than anybody. Eddie got it more than anybody. But I had to change my disciplinary techniques with Eddie because spanking with him did not work because of his autism and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so let's get more back on track. And I'm just going my background with my children. Okay, so I'm an overprotective parent. Yes, I am. My children did not spend the night at anybody else's house. My daughter just spent the night at somebody's house for the first time at 17. Okay, and that was a month ago. Now my daughter has been on supervised trips with the school. There was a group that she was involved with. So she's gone to New York City. She's been to Boston. She's gone to different places. She just went to Canada not that long ago before school ended on a trip. Okay. So it wasn't like I didn't let my kid do anything. Okay. A lot of it is trust. You have to trust that child. That child has to earn that trust, though, okay? So what I wanted to talk about, again, it's like, so, I'm overprotective of my children, but I absolutely use this event as a teaching tool, okay? And I think a lot of parents out there, you can please do the same thing. What I said to my daughter was this: because you see this, what just happened? And she goes, yes. I said, that's why you never spent the night at anybody's house, right there. Because when the kids were all at my house, I knew where they were. I could supervise them. I was, in control of the situation per se. Okay. So myself or my ex-wife at the time, we were always around. Okay. Now, after later on, I had to go and work nights, but then grandma was here. Okay. And grandma lived with us for a while. And so she was watching the kids and stuff like that at that point. Now, again, what I think the problem, so the problem with a lot of today's society with kids, a lot of the problem is, first of all, you don't have mom and dad in the house. Now, it's way more prevalent today. It's actually very rare when both parents are still in the picture, okay, which is sad that it's that way. But we live in a society today, that if you're unhappy and you don't like something, then you get out. And, the court system works in wonderful, miraculous ways. And, it's crazy. But there's always, nobody wants to work anything out anymore. Okay. Everybody just wants that easy out. Guys, if you haven't yet, if you could shoot me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. But, relationships are super disposable. Jake R just said that. You're absolutely right, Jake. And that's really, really sad. Instead of trying to work things out for the betterment, not just of the husband and wife, but also for the children, for that stability is not there. Now, I'm going to go back again to when I was a kid. Now, looking back at my 15, 16-year-old self, what I really, truly wanted, and this is what most kids want, guys, and I'm going to give you some good knowledge here, okay? What most kids want is structure. They want structure and rules because why? It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel loved. It makes them feel that they don't have to make those difficult decisions, okay? The parents are making those decisions as the parents should be. Another problem that we have today is that too many parents want to be their kid's friend. You cannot be your child's friend. You know when I'm going to be my children's friend? When my daughter goes off and gets married and becomes an adult, has her own family, then she will be my friend. Until then, she is my child. Even in college, even though she'll be an adult technically at 18, she's still my child, okay? And so I'm not going to be her friend. I am her parent. That comes first before anything else, okay? One of the great things, and so somebody had said when I was talking earlier, they didn't like the fact that I had, talked about my relationship with my kids and how I discipline my kids and stuff like that. And they were like, that's horrible that you're saying these things and these poor people's family died and it's about you. It's not about me. It's about having structure, having consistency. Okay. And I'm going to give you an idea of consistency here, guys. And this really, it starts when that child is really, really young. My children, when they were very, very young, their bedtime was 7 o'clock. That was not negotiable. It wasn't up for debate, okay? It wasn't, oh, please let me stay up. No, 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 no. It was 7 o'clock. That was bedtime because they were little. They needed to rest, okay? And again, it starts at home. You have to have rules. You have to have structure. You have this is something that's really truly missing in today's society as well. Please, thank you, yes sir, no sir. Let me hold that door for you. And then when you hold the door, the person that you're holding the door for saying thank you. A lot of people don't even do that. You know what I do when I hold the door for everybody, guys. Man, women, don't make any difference. I hold the door for everybody. If they don't say thank you, I'm going to tell you what I do, and I do it every freaking time. I will look right at them and I will go, you're welcome. And then generally they say thank you. But it's not, I don't have to do that. I do it out of a courtesy, okay? When you teach your children respect, ground rules, that makes all the difference in the world. And again, kids need structure. They want boundaries, okay? They want you as the parent to make that decision, what's okay, what's not okay. Like, here's something that's not okay. Now, they're 17 now, but let's say 16. I'm not going to let my 16-year-old child smoke pot. It's not going to happen, okay? Never is ever going to happen. And the best thing is they're never smoking pot with me because that's not ever going to happen, okay? Again, you cannot be the friend, okay? You can't be the friend. You have to be the parent. And that's a big, big part of it, okay? So, unfortunately, it's missing. It's gone, all right? And, again, so we got no family structure, no respect. There's another thing. When I was growing up, you respected your elders, okay? You respected old people. And here's the thing is, guys, as bad as I was as a teenager, and the craziest stuff that I did and the stupid stuff that I did. Like, I'll give you an example one time. So we were out and about, and there was about 4 of us, and we were just out there raising Cain. That's all we were doing. We were out there looking for trouble, okay? And there was an older couple, and a buddy of mine goes, hey, man, let's go mess with those old people. Now, even though I was a bad kid, I still had a structure that was given to me by my grandparents, by my mom and stuff like that. And I said, no. I'll never, don't you ever mess with old people. They've lived their life. They deserve to be left alone. Okay. So even though I was a rebellious, crazy kid, I still had some moral fabric to me as far as foundation goes of what, and I knew right and wrong. And I absolutely knew right and wrong. But I did what I wanted to do because nobody could stop me. Okay. What I needed was somebody to whoop my butt, tell me that's it, you're not doing this crap no more. And I would have been pissed, don't get me wrong, okay? A moral compass, Wolfgang just said exactly. You still have to have some kind of moral compass, exactly right. But again, it's like everything. So with this situation that just happened here, okay? Now, yeah, if grandma knew, and they knew they had a troubled teenager. Don't think that they didn't know that they had a troubled teenager. The girl's 16 years old, being all rebellious, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So they already knew what was going on as far as that goes. And I'm not blaming grandma. Don't get me wrong. I mean, grandma probably was in bed at 8 o'clock at night that night, the grandmother. So they stole her car keys. But again, those are things that you have to think about of, okay, what am I doing? That this kid might take my vehicle, so I'm going to make sure those keys are where they can't get them, okay? Again, those are things you got to think about. If you have a child like that, kids are going to take advantage. They're going to push the boundaries, guys, okay? Here's the other thing that really is missing, okay? And I've seen this over and over and over again. It's one thing that drives me nuts. If you don't stop doing that, this is what's going to happen. So the kids are going to push that boundary and see what they can get away with. You have to, as a parent, follow through with your threats of your consequences for their actions. You have to follow through. So many parents will have hollow threats, and believe me, kids know really, really quickly when parents are full of crap and are not going to follow through, and they just walk all over them. You can't do that. You can't. You have to follow through with what you say, and when you do that, not only is you're setting those boundaries, kids are going to respect that more. Hey, bub.
Ain't gonna have a soda.
How many have you had? Okay, yes, you may have one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, again, it's just teaching them the basic concept of what's right and wrong, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. and following through with your discipline. And again, it starts at a really, really early age. Again, like I said, when my kids were little, we had people would come over, and they would be like, the kids at 7 o'clock, they would shut down and they would start getting ready. They'd go up and they'd brush their teeth, and people were like, what are they doing? I go, well, it's bedtime. They got to go to bed. And they're like, oh my God, I wish my kids would do that. And I always like when people say that, because I said, give me your kids for 2 weeks. Your kids are little brats, and that's what a problem is. A lot of this, guys, kids are brats. But it's not, when kids are brats and I see bratty, nasty, little snotty kids, I never blame the children, because it's not the child's fault. I blame the parents. Always blame the parents in that instance. When the kid is little and they're acting like a brat and they're having a temper tantrum, and the parents are going to give in, that's the parents' fault. That's absolutely the parents' fault. So if you teach those children respect, like I said, Eddie was 5 years old. When Josh was 5 years old, I taught them both. You hold the door for the ladies, okay? And that's exactly what they did then, and they both still do it to this day, okay? It's a respect thing, and it's how it should be. But unfortunately, that's not taught anymore by parents. When you have young mothers out there, dad's long gone off to the next chick and, having more children with somebody else or whatever they're doing, and that they're not in the picture. Now, these poor women are a lot of times, and don't get me wrong, it happens to men too, they're trying to raise this child by themselves. And it's difficult. And I'm not going to lie, it's absolutely difficult. But you hear these stories, and you hear it all the time. It's like, all environmental circumstances and blah, blah, blah. But when you have a strong-willed mother, I don't care if it's in the ghetto, I don't care if it's in suburbia, I don't care if it's in the country. If you have a strong-willed mother, and let's say the father's out of the picture, and those kids are squared away because there's rules, there's discipline, there's consequences for their actions, those kids grow up and they do something with their lives, okay? Look at all the different football players that have said, my mom was rock, she would not let us get away with crap, because they've been there, they've been out there, they know what's going on, okay? So this tragedy that happened, it's sad, it's horrible, and it happens all the time. Unfortunately. But again, and it's going to happen continually over and over and over again. It's not going to stop. But the thing is, being an overprotective parent, guess what? My child, both of my children, are 17 years old. They're going to be 18 in October, and they're both alive. Okay? They have a respect for people. They have manners. Heather used to get, when she was little, when she would be in school, she would always get the most polite award, for like little kids and stuff like that. Because it's taught, guys. We, the parents, you guys out there, you are the ones. You are the beginning of this, okay? So, I just got a bad kid. Bullcrap. No kid is bad. No kid is bad. Now, are there learned behaviors? Do things happen? Absolutely. But so here's another comment that I got. Well, what happens when, your child leaves at 18 and becomes a serial killer? Well, that's on them. Okay. My job as a parent, that first 18 years, they're home, you teach them, you raise them. If they go out in life after that and do stupid things and make poor decisions, that's not my fault. That's their fault. As long as I have given them that foundation, taught them respect, taught them discipline, and, I'm going to give you a great example, okay? Another thing. So Heather has, I think she's got 18 credits in this first part of the year. Well, most freshmen, I guess, have between 12 and 15, but she's going to have 18. And so one of her roommates that she's going to have at the college asked her, well, are you going to drop a couple courses? And she says to me, I probably won't. She goes, I look at it as a challenge. That's my kid, okay? Now, is every kid like that? Absolutely not, okay? But she has had that instilled in her, a challenge, determination, drive, strive towards a goal, okay? And that is everybody. Everybody can do that. Any parent can do that. But you have to have some kind of foundation to start with. And it all starts at home, and it's always the parents, okay? If you're a single mom, if you are a single dad, can it suck at time? Absolutely it can. But you know what? It's not the kid's fault, okay? It could be one or the other parents. It could be both of the parents' fault that things didn't work out. But it is what it is. Crying over it, blaming the other person is not going to change the situation. Those children still need to be raised. They still need to have a foundation. And if you are lucky enough, and that's the way I look at it, if you are lucky enough to be the primary parent, you have decisions to make on how those kids are going to be raised, how they're going to act. My children always both knew if something happened in, like, say, school, and now Heather was never in a fight in school, okay? But say there was a bully and somebody was bullying her and she had to defend herself. I told her, I said, you whoop their butts. And I don't care if you throw the first punch or not. If somebody's being that way and you feel like they may try to hurt you, I go, you hurt them first. And I said, I will always have your back. And I would fight the school with that all the way. But at the same time, if my kid was in the wrong with something and did something wrong or was the instigator or something like that, they're going to get my wrath. So there was that healthy, notice how I say this, that healthy fear of the consequences for their actions. That's what kids are also missing, guys. If you have rules and they know that if you do this, you cross this line, this is what's going to happen. They're going to think twice about it. They really, truly are. So it makes all the difference in the world. So I'm out of green tea, so I'm drinking grape juice tonight. I like grape juice too. So problem is a lot of adults need to grow up. And neighbors' kids are a complete mess. Father is too busy playing video games. And it's just easier to let the kids scream and act crazy. Wait 10 years. Hey, you know what, Cricket Girl? You are 100% right, and I will agree with you 100%. When you have the parents are on drugs and drunk all the time and not focus on what should be the priority or into what they're still selfish and they're thinking of themselves first, it is, it is what it is. I mean, it's unfortunate that some people do need to grow up. Unfortunately, I've always said this with men don't really grow up until they hit 30 or right around 30. For me, I was 27 when I pulled my head out of my behind. I'm going to be honest. I did everything possibly wrong you could possibly do wrong. And at 27, I took a good hard look at myself, and I did not like what I saw. And I decided to make some changes. That has to come internally. Those are choices that we have to make. Now, I didn't have any children before then, thank goodness, because I wasn't ready for children before then. I didn't have my kids till I was 36 years old, okay? When I met the kid's mom, I wanted children. I was ready to have children. And, and I'll be honest with you, even at 36, being a first-time dad, I was scared to death. And then we found out we were having twins. I mean, it was a whole different it's a whole different ball game. It really, truly is. But the thing is, it's like, nothing is ever the child's fault as far as that birth. But once that child is there, we definitely need to step up as parents, realize that our priorities have now changed. It's not about me anymore. It is about that child. And I think that's a part of the problem too, is parents not putting their priorities in the right order. And it's sad. Most parents that get divorced play the spite game with their children. Oh my God, yeah, JJ, you are right. A lot of parents will use their children as pawns in that type of a situation, and it's very sad because you know who ultimately suffers in that when one parent will play games with the other parent? The children suffer, because at the end of the day, and here's the thing, what I think a lot of people lose sight of. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to bash on my ladies out here because I love my ladies that follow my channel, but unfortunately, I've seen this over and over and over again. Nothing is worse than a woman scorned. So they love you until they don't love you anymore, meaning the women, okay? And once they don't love you anymore, now they hate you, and they want to hurt you any way they possibly can. And a lot of times the way that they will do that is with the children, which is sad. And that children should not be used as a pawn or a tool to get revenge because things didn't work out with the ex, okay? The children, that mom and the dad are always going to be that the children's mother and father, okay? My ex and I went through our divorce, okay? But I never, ever denied her access to the children. I never told her she couldn't see the children. They had the choice whenever they wanted to go and visit with mom. Obviously they had school and stuff like that, but anytime they wanted to go and spend time with mom, if they wanted to go on a weekend, any weekend. It wasn't every other weekend like some of these people have to deal with, okay? They could go every weekend if they wanted to. Now, sometimes she didn't take them on the weekends. Sometimes she did, okay? When it was vacations, summer vacation, stuff like that, there was times that she didn't take them for long stretches of time, and then she might take them for 5 or 6 days. And I always left that up to the kids, and they could stay as long as they want. Because at the end of the day, guys, like with my ex and I am their father, she is their mother. Whatever happened between her and I, that's water under the bridge. That doesn't change, okay? It's over. It's not about her and me anymore. It's about these kids. And kids need mom and dad. They all do, okay? And unfortunately, I know many fathers, and, somebody in particular that's on this show, and I won't mention names, but that the ex is using the children as a toy and a tool. And it hurts him, and it hurts his children. And, because he doesn't get to see his boys, it's a horrible, horrible thing. That's horrible. Anybody that does that is a sick, twisted individual. And they turn these kids against the other parent, and then these kids grow up and they got a lot of deep-seated hatred. And it's sad because it hurts the kids at the end of the day. So, yeah, guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, I would definitely appreciate it if you would do that. So, men do this too. You're right, Regina. And I'm not saying that they don't. Okay, you're absolutely right. I'm not trying to bash on the ladies, guys. I'm really not. I've seen it over and over and over again. 9 times out of 10, and we know this in our society, in New York especially, 9 times out of 10, the mother's going to be awarded custody of the children. It's just the way it goes, okay? But unfortunately, a lot of times, these children are used as pawns. Now, there are men that do it too, absolutely right. They play games. They try to poison the children's minds and, get them to pick sides. And sadly, though, the courts rarely side with the father in any way. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And he's making a true statement. And that's why 9 times out of 10, the children are given to the mother. And it's unfortunately, yeah. And it's a shame. It's absolutely a shame. There's no consequences for the actions when those type of things happen. If the one parent, can't pay the set amount of child support, then, that's used as a tool. If they're not meeting at exactly a certain time, if they're not there, I've seen videos of it where the father was trying to get his son and the mother was playing games. And again, guys, it goes both ways, okay? It goes both ways. Men do the same thing. They play the games too. And it's so unfortunate because at the end of the day, again, who does it hurt? It hurts that child, So anyway, it happens way too often. But, and you look at the welfare system, guys. The welfare system was set up to get fathers out of the household. And so who's raising these kids? The state, for the most part, is raising these kids. Yeah, Regina just said the kids are really the only ones that suffer. Absolutely, they are. There's a lot of parents who do this. I say not to do so. We choose to lead by example. It worked for us. Yeah, Jeanette, that's great. And you know what? My ex and I, we're not going to go out and have lunch and chit-chat and catch up. It's not going to happen, okay? But I'm respectful to her. For the most part, she's respectful to me. But it's about the kids. And, they love their mom. It's their mom, and they love me. I'm their dad. So that's the way it should be. Yeah, welfare was designed to subjugate the recipient. Exactly, Robert. They're putting them in a system that's a no-win situation. It gets the father out of the household because they get more money if he's not there. And it's a sad, sad situation because, again, all children, guys, and I'm going to say this again, all children need both mom and dad in the picture. They need to have a strong male role model. They need to have that mother, that nurturing figure as well. Now, unfortunately, that's not always the case. In some cases, one parent has to do both. They have to be the nurturing one, and the role model. Be it the mom or the dad. Okay. And again, I look at things obviously a lot from a father's perspective, obviously, but it's just again, what it comes down to, guys. This is what can be fixed. So how do we fix this crazy situation and stuff that we're in now? Each of us individually, as parents, make a conscious decision to put our children first. That's how it starts. Child should be number one. Okay, so we put our children first. Discipline, rules, follow through on your threats. Okay, if you say if this behavior continues, you are not going to get to watch SpongeBob at 4 o'clock like you get to watch SpongeBob at 4 o'clock every day. Okay, and you follow through with that. They don't get to watch it if they don't change the behavior. And believe me, they'll change that behavior in a hurry because that's their whole world is that SpongeBob. Okay. Another thing is routine. Having a routine. We eat dinner at blah, blah, blah time. You're going to go to bed at blah, blah, blah time, whatever that may be. Okay. Like I said, for my kids, when they were little, it was 7 o'clock. When they got a little older, it got to be 8. When they became teenagers, it was 10 o'clock. Okay. Because it was a school night, they had to be in bed by 10. Now, when Heather was a senior in high school, gave her a little bit more leeway. A lot of times she was up to 11. Okay. But she would come home sometimes and take a nap after she got home from school. But again, you have to have routine. You have to have structure. So we do that. We don't play one parent against the other parent. Okay. Even if the other, let's put it like guys. Okay. Let's say your ex, be it a female or be it a male. They're the biggest jerk in the freaking world. The biggest jerk in the world. That's okay. They can be the biggest jerk in the world. Your kids are smart. They're going to figure it out, okay? You let them go spend time with that other person. My father was an alcoholic and abuser. Joseph just said that. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. How was the car found in the middle of the night? Well, I guess that accident happened at 4:30 in the morning, and was up at an intersection. It came to a T, so they came in and ran through the intersection and hit a tree. So I don't know exactly how long they were there before they were found. Hard to say. I mean, you're talking backcountry roads out here, so probably somebody was up going to work. We got a lot of farmers that are up early. So unfortunately, somebody, had to walk. I couldn't even imagine as a first responder, as a police officer, a fireman, EMT, walking onto that scene with 4 young dead people. It had to be horrific. Absolutely had to be horrific. And again, it's a horrible, horrible situation. Most of the responsibility, as I said earlier in the video that I did earlier, goes on to the kids. Decisions that were made. Okay, right from wrong. I don't care. You're 14 years old. Right from wrong. It's a matter of making a choice. And here's something that I've always said. And everything comes down to 3 things, guys. Okay? Everything in life. I don't care if you're 12 years old. I don't care if you're 50 years old. Everything comes down to 3 things. People, places, and things. The people you're hanging out with. Okay? That's number 1. That's important. As a parent, that's something else we need to be on top of. If our kids are hanging out with shady characters, we need to stay on top of it and stop them from doing that. Okay? So people you're hanging out with, the things that you're doing, okay? Well, places was second. So people, places, so the places, where are you at? Where are you going? What are you doing? Okay? So whatever places that you're hanging around, are you in bad areas? Or are you making, in those type of things? And then the last thing is things. So people, places, and things. It's the things that you are doing. Again, all of us, I don't care if you're 14 years old, right from wrong by the time you're 14 years old, okay? The choices that we're making, the things that we're doing are going to have consequences. There's going to be consequences for your action. So if you're putting out good things and you're doing good things, it's going to come back to you in a good way. If you're putting out bad stuff, guys, it comes back to you. It's karma. Now, I'm not saying that 16-year-olds and 14-year-olds, this was their karma and this is what they deserve. Absolutely not. Unfortunately, like I said, their lives are over. And I actually, honestly, the person that I feel sorry for the most, is not the deceased children, because they're done. Now, their parents are going to suffer greatly, okay? The girl that lived is going to have survivor's guilt for the rest of her life. She's going to have to deal with that, because what will happen is right now the parents of the children that have passed, they're grieving, which absolutely thing. But eventually that grief will turn to anger. And who does the anger get directed at? It gets directed at the person that survived. Now, unfortunately for the girl that did survive, she was the one that stole this car, or well, took it from her grandmother. Okay, so it was basically stealing. Okay, but so that blame, they're not gonna look at their children and say, part of the blame goes on my kid. My kid made that decision. It's their fault too. They're not going to look at it like that. People don't. They want to blame somebody. So they're going to look at that survivor and place the blame on them. They're not going to take any kind of responsibility themselves as a parent for decisions that their children were making. How many of us have seen parents that their kid can do no wrong and their child is blameless and their kid is a monster, okay? I've seen it over and over and over again, and I've seen those type of parents, and it's unfortunate. But again, it's like I said, this is just it's a horrible situation, and unfortunately, because of decisions that these children made, 4 lives are done and they're lost, and everybody else is going to be left in that wake. And like I said, this affected little prepper lady quite a bit. She said that 2 days before this tragedy happened, 3 of those kids were at her house. 3 of the kids were there at her place. So, again, she had a lot of interaction with these kids. We good? All right. Heather just locked up the chickens. So, and here's the other thing. Like the daughter, Brian's daughter, was supposed to be with them that night, and she ended up not going. One of the other boys that was at the house that night was supposed to be with them as well, and he didn't go. The last text was to Brian's daughter, okay, which is LPL's boyfriend, his daughter. So the police were at their place at like 9:30 in the morning, asking questions, needing to talk with her. And here's Miss Heather. Hello.
Been here.
Well, okay. So, so that they had to deal with all that. And one of the boys that was killed, one of the 14-year-old boys that was killed, was Brian's best friend in high school, his son. So he obviously very, very upset, which he absolutely should have been. Now, again, and I did mention earlier, people deal with tragedy in different ways. And for me personally, dealing with tragedy, the answer to me is not getting drunk. That doesn't help anything. That's just my opinion. Okay, everybody copes with things in a different way. Oh yeah. Brian was. I think he was more so even than LPL. Yeah. It was hard to see, and he was destroyed. I mean, you could just see he was absolutely destroyed, which it was sad. But again, I think there's sometimes better ways to deal with things. He needs to be there for his friend at that point in time. And he'd been there all day with his friend, don't get me wrong. And I'm sure probably his friend was probably wrecked as well. But he was hurting. You could see he was hurting. And I like I said, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I never, ever want to experience that, ever. Because I told her, I said, what she needs, I don't want to get that phone call. I want her to get the phone call that says, your father passed away at 98 years old peacefully in his sleep. Okay, that's the call I want her to get.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Somebody asked what I thought of it. Obviously, it's a tragedy. I knew the driver. Not like, we're not like best friends or anything, but I was aware of who she was. Like, I knew her. So that sucks. All these young people. I mean, shouldn't have been out doing that, but it also doesn't justify their death,
No, it does not, no.
So, it's a shame.
Yeah, it absolutely is a shame.
I don't have my driver's license. I hate driving.
Yeah,
So,
she has her permit. She doesn't like to drive very much, so I have no idea when she will get her license. But again, it's like, but here's the thing: is like with Heather, I trust Heather completely, and I actually told her probably a couple of years ago. I said, don't ever break my trust, because if you do, it'll never be like that again. And she never has, as far as I know. And she's a good kid. I'm very, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate.
also,
So,
Carlos Bakery should sponsor this, since I'm repping them right now.
who is Carlos Bakery?
You don't know, like, Buddy? Like, or I think that's his name, at the whole television show?
Oh, Carlos down in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hoboken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, New Jersey. Okay, I see it.
Yeah,
All
with
right.
the television shows.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Heather and I have talked a lot, and here's the other thing, and the people have said, oh, wait till she goes off to college and she's going to turn into a wild girl because she's got freedom for the first time. Heather's very grounded, very, very intelligent. She's mature beyond her years. Will she probably get into some stupid stuff? Of course she will, because that's what people do. But hopefully she has enough of me in her head saying, don't do this, or this will happen, or you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation or whatnot. So, I'm 20 and still don't have my license. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you what, I didn't get my driver's license. I got my permit first.
You got it when Becky got it. So.
When my sister was 15 months younger than me, when she was getting ready to get her driver's license, I'm like, well, she can't have her driver's license before me. So that's when I stepped it up and went and got my driver's license. Yeah, Heather is an old soul, Wolfang. She absolutely is an old soul. Very mature from a very young age, because she always had to be because of Eddie. She's been my rock for a very, very long time. Very good girl. So, Lisa said she didn't get hers until 25. Wow. Okay. Well, some people, if you're not ready, then you're not ready.
Plus, like, biking and stuff it's better for the environment and for yourself.
It is.
And using the transit is better, again, for the environment, I guess, than having so many different cars, so.
Yeah, no. And if she needs to get anywhere, there's always somebody around.
Oh, Scott bit to RIT.
Oh, very cool.
He said he got it when he was at RIT, so.
Oh, very nice.
They have so many buses there.
Yeah, they did a lot of transport there all over the place, so. And I'm going to be 45 minutes away. So all she's got to do is say, Dad.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, don't let her kid you. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm anticipating those phone calls. Dad, I need this or I need that. That's what's going to happen.
Like, today, I had to buy $70 worth of school supplies, and I was like, oh, this sucks. I'm going to buy her own stuff.
Yeah, it's responsibility.
Sucked. But I got good stuff.
She had to get some stuff for college, so.
And also, a little self-promo, I will be getting a YouTube channel soon. And when I do, anticipating the next couple days, I'm going to have mine up. So when that happens, I'll make him shout me out, and then you can all follow me. And then leave his channel and watch me because I'm more exciting.
What she's going to do, guys, too, we were talking, and what she plans on doing is she's going to be doing like a daily vlog. Well,
not every day. I'm in college.
Okay, well, no, when you're in college, talking about your experiences with college and those type of things. So that's what she's going to be doing.
Because I know that, I don't really have anyone to talk to about going to. Like my older brother, but we never talk. So I just don't know what to expect, and I want other people to have me as their guide, I guess.
When they're getting ready to go.
Yeah, because I remember, I don't remember who it was, but somebody on the live stream a couple weeks ago asked if I would,
start
talk
a
about
channel.
it.
Yeah.
So for their son, so.
Yeah, that's what. She's gonna have her own channel.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to come up. You have to come up with a creative name.
Heather Carswell.
Well, I think we could do something better, different than that. You can't go using your real name.
Give me channel name suggestions.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do some channel name suggestions for Heather. As long as you drink mango tea, there you go. No, JJ, I'm going to make. She drinks that half and half stuff that Arnold Palmer.
I like those, yeah.
Little sassy prepper. That's funny. I
Ooh,
like.
Heather's Helpline. I like that. I'm gonna write that down.
All right, there you go. Heather's Helpline.
I gotta have my own channel, not affiliated with him entirely, so I don't really want like.
The prepper part in there.
Yeah.
Oh, Pink Floyd fan _19. There you go.
Maybe.
Homestead Heather. College kid prepper. That's funny. I like that. Heather's Hangout. There's another one for you, Heather. Yeah, Heather's Helpline, though. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Heather Chicken Herder.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Chicken Herder. Yeah, that's right. Heather the Chicken Whisperer. I know. I just got her the other day. She finally grabbed one of the chickens. And
I
was
had
so-
held one before, but I didn't want. I initiated it this time. I was like, okay, I want one, so I picked it up.
Yeah, so she held one.
They make me nervous. I don't want to be hurt.
Well, they don't hurt, but they just
Did
want.
you tell about how you tried to pick up Pandora today?
Oh my God, no. Okay, so, well, I did pick up Pandora. She just.
Well, you tried to hold her.
I picked up Pandora and I was gonna try to swing her and hold her like a baby. Okay. Well, that dog was having no part of that.
Well, we don't ever pick them up. So
We
we're
don't
not used
ever
to
pick
it.
them up,
The
right?
last time we did when they were little babies.
Yeah. So, so I picked her up and she's flopping around and she scratched up my stomach, and then I went to adjust her and she caught me all in the side of the head with her paw, and that wasn't so much fun. So yeah, it was not so much a good time.
I like Miss Heather Explains It All too.
Oh, that's cool. Miss Heather Explains It All. I like that too. That's very cool. So, all right. So now you got a couple choices, and well, thank you guys for the ideas. I appreciate that, and we'll see what happens. Prepping for college. There's another one. Even Heather's Haven.
I like the alliteration. It's catchy. It'll make people will remember it.
The alliteration.
Yeah, when first two letters or the first letter is the same in a
Oh,
sentence.
I gotcha.
It's alliteration.
Heather's chat room. Wisconsin prepper said that.
Heather 2.0. Who's the first Heather?
That's right.
Like.
Heather 1.0. That's right. So, all right, guys, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for all the ideas for Heather. That's gives her a few things to think about. And when she does start her channel, I will absolutely let all you guys know, so you can go over there and support her and follow her, and we'll get her up and running. I think she will. Young and Wise with Heather. There you go, Rod T. I like that one too. Heather's Guide to College. Very cool. I like that one too. Heather Goes to College. So, very cool.
Yep. So, should be putting up videos eventually. Like I said, hopefully this week.
There's
So,
Getting Along Alone said Heather's Hangout. Hi Jinx by Heather.
I'll write that one down too.
I like that. That's very good. I like that. Thank you, Lori. That is too funny. But she's going to do well. It's not going to be easy, and she knows that, but she's going to do very, very well. I have no doubt about that.
Heather in Hawaii. I wish. Anyone want to fund me going to Hawaii? Only me.
Nice.
I have a Heather's Happenings. I like that too. What I'll say, I have a little Hawaiian license plate that I got at a flea market a while ago, so that's up on my bulletin board.
Oh, my mom needs a channel. I don't think Mom would be up to doing a channel all the time.
I have orientation. Well, move-in day is the 20th of August, and then classes start the 26th.
Yep.
And it's 18 total credits. I don't know why they put me in so many, but
She's going to be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, so when you guys see her at the Prepper get-together that we're having in August, I'll mention that real quick while we're thinking about that. So we're doing the Prepper get-together August 17th at Letchworth State Park. That is going to be at Eddie's Pavilion. It's EDDYS Pavilion. And it's Letch, LETCHWORTH, Letchworth State Park. And so, yeah, she's already talked to her.
my roommates, I have 3. I'm in a quad.
Yep.
So,
She's going for psychology, Christina.
Yep.
But but we're doing a get together the 17th of August. It's just Saturday. It's going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we have the pavilion until 10 o'clock at night.
Countdown to Ed's empty nest syndrome.
Yeah, no kidding.
About right.
Oh, not looking forward to it. I am not.
It is a full schedule. I have a picture of it.
Well, you don't need to show them this. No, don't show them the picture of your schedule. You don't. When you have people out there that do bad things and think bad things, you're not going to show them your schedule.
Well, I have a lot of classes, and it's perfectly symmetrical. I haven't seen anyone else's whose schedule is symmetrical, so it's weird, but it's cool.
So, but yeah. So anyway, so we're going to be doing that on the 17th of August. So if you want to come to that, everybody's welcome to come. We would just ask that you bring a dish to pass. Is Heather nervous about college life? Christina just asked that.
I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I'm excited. It's just going to be weird and
Different.
I guess.
Yeah. So be sure to get a PhD in clinical psychology.
Well, I want to get my master's in experimental psychology and then go on to get my PhD in neuroscience. So that's it's an extension of that. So, but we'll see. It's subject to change.
Oh, and so you guys know too, Prepper Rabbit is going to be coming to the. He has his own channel, as you guys know. He's coming up from Tennessee, and he will be at the Prepper Get Together as well. So
I'm not going to miss stacking wood.
yes, she is.
Wood season, I'm just going to stay at school. Not going to visit.
Hey, how much wood did you actually stack this year, realistically?
Stack a little bit with you.
Little bit.
Eddie did nothing.
Yeah.
So, but I hate stacking wood. I've done it since I freaking could do it. So.
Somebody said you relate to Heather know any of the kids. Yeah, she knew the driver. The driver of the car. She knew it was an acquaintance. She didn't really know her well. She didn't hang out with her or anything like that. But she knew the girl that was driving the car. And that girl's one of the girls that passed away. Oh, you see Cricket Girl? So don't worry, Heather. My son said college is cake compared to all the AP classes in high school. He's bored. Wow. Well, maybe you might be too. And she, like I said, she's real good. She's a smart girl.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll be there all day. We also have somebody's going to be here at the homestead all day as well. So anybody thinking they're going to pull some shenanigans that day, because I'm not going to be there, because everybody knows where I'm going to be. Somebody will be here at the homestead all day long. So just so everybody knows.
No cats tonight? I actually came over. I didn't get a chance to say it. When I went to go lock up the chickens, I was petting Molly, and I was like, okay, well, gotta go put the chickens. She was running in front of me. She would not let me leave.
That's funny.
It's crazy. And like, all the cats are outside right now. I don't think anyone's in.
Beware, most psych professors are weird. I like that. Robert said that.
I was at Kohl's with my mom. You should have came up and said hi to me.
Who? Somebody was.
Yeah, I was at Kohl's.
Yeah, you should have went up and said hi to her.
Yeah. That's funny. Small world.
Well, he lives in Greece.
Still saying.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
No, you did not.
But yes, I was at Kohl's, so.
That's funny.
Oh, now here's Eddie saying hi.
Come in and say hello.
With your grapes.
With a grape. Yeah, we got grapes
Grape
today.
eating ASMR.
He said he wasn't sure it was you, Heather.
Oh, wow.
That would have been kind of weird, just walking up to some strange girl. Are you Heather?
What we're sharing with this, James, I don't have Abe on me.
Yeah, you don't have Abe tonight. He's outside. So.
Stop. Get out of here.
Eddie, will you miss your sister when she goes to college? Yeah, he said yeah. So, the other thing I want to make sure I said, I mentioned is that we have the Prep Nurse One community on my website, prepnurse1.com. If you are interested in joining, now I'm going to say it anyway because I believe that it'd be true. I said it's very private. So what I mean by very private is that people off the street can't come in and see what's going on, that you have to be registered to be in there. So somebody says, well, what about the FBI and blah, 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 blah. Well, sure, they probably know. But you know what? If we're not doing anything wrong, what do you got to worry about? So, but if you're looking to get together with like-minded people and connect with like-minded people, that is the place to do it. If you're looking to try to form a group, we got great message boards on the website as well. So if you're interested, come join the Prepper Nurse One community to try to.
It's not a 666 symbol that Eddie. It's like a meme with kids, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's made you look.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. We'd be like, oh, made you look. And he
Right.
does it all the time.
That's all that is for Eddie.
Like in every single picture that I have of him, he's doing that. It's not like a awful thing. It's just
Right.
a joke.
So, but yeah. So anyway, guys, I wanted to mention that we do have that at the PrepperNurse1.com. Also, we are still doing our sale right now, and that's going to go in through the 4th of August. And that is 20% off of everything on the website, freeze-dried food, merchandise. If you're looking to get a T-shirt, a coffee mug, bumper stickers, those are all going to be there, 20% off as well. So if you're interested, definitely check that out.
He likes Nick Tahoe's. I do not like Nick Tahoe's.
Yeah, Heather doesn't like Nick Tahoe's.
I don't know. It's not for me, I guess.
I love Nick Tahoe's. I love a garbage plate. And we are Legion, absolutely, Kate.
Cat.
The cat. Was it? Oh, okay. We are absolutely Legion. Talk about, we are many. We are strong. There's so many of us out here, guys. And we all really, truly can make a difference when the time comes. We really can. And so that's why I say we are Legion, because we are many. There's a lot of preppers out here, a lot of off-gridders, and we can truly make a difference in the world. So it's definitely, Chris said he's 1,600 miles away. Wow. Yeah, that'd be a little bit of a drive. What we're planning, I think what we're going to plan on doing is we're going to make this a yearly thing. Next year, I'm going to try to give you guys a lot more notice if you're interested in doing it. And we're going to kind of see how the turnout is this year to kind of get a base of how big of a pavilion I'm going to need to get. But we're definitely going to look to do this every year. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's a great way to get together with people as far as the get-together goes. So it should be a lot of fun. But and guys, if you haven't shot me that thumbs up yet, I would appreciate it if you would do that. Yep. Somebody just said I'm down. I just need time. Yeah, so what we'll plan on doing is next year I will let you guys know way early, and we'll plan on doing that. We'll get it set up earlier so people have more time to plan. Bring stickers and shirts to the meetup. I'm not sure if we're going to do that or not. I got to talk to Mike about that. We may. I'll have to talk with him about that. So we'll see. Maybe. Should do a bug out get together. Yeah, that would be cool too. Well, we can probably, here's what we can do. Okay, I think this is something to think about. Next year, what is this 666
Everyone's
symbol?
still talking about this. It's not.
It's not a 666 symbol for
Some
him.
people may interpret it like that. It's not what that is.
That's not how he means it, guys.
Yeah, no, it's not anything like related to stuff or anything. It's just
It's a major look. It's a major look symbol.
It's like a gotcha nerd.
Yeah, it's a gotcha thing. Yep, we played that when I told you guys when I worked way back in the day for Holiday Health and Fitness. I was an instructor. We would play that. It was we would we would do that, and if you got that person to look, then you got to give them a punch. So the way the game was played was if you got them to look, you would have to X the spot, you punched them, and then you had to wipe it off. Now, if you didn't follow those in that order, they got to do it to you. It was just a stupid game, like flinch is what it was. It was flinch. So you would either try to get them to flinch, or you'd make them look at that symbol. And it wasn't anything to do with any kind of Satanism or anything like that. So I don't know why people get so flipped out about that. Different location next year so others can attend. Well, you know what? I will see what we can do. I would love to do that. I'll just have to look and see what Illuminati. Somebody just said, yeah, for us, it has nothing to do with the Illuminati. Trust me. I got to tell you what, I almost did buy just because so I have a twisted sense of humor, guys, okay?
Yeah, I'm leaving now.
Okay, I love you.
All right, goodbye, people.
So we were out at a garage sale, and they had the circle hat with a 32 on it, so it was like a 32-degree Mason hat, and I almost bought it and wore it like in a live chat. Now, I would have done it as a joke because I thought it was funny, but people would have flipped out a little bit. But yeah, so no, I have nothing to do. I'm not a Mason or anything like that. But remember the things that have innocent origins. The swastika was an Indian good luck symbol at one time. Actually, the swastika had something. It was a good luck symbol with Buddha, I believe, over in Japan. That's where that symbol came from. But just because he uses that symbol does not mean he's using it for anything bad. So, if I was Illuminati, I probably wouldn't tell you. Ooh, the Illuminati, the boogeyman. Guys, listen, you know what? That's actually pretty funny. Well, if you were, why would you tell anybody? But yeah, I just, so yeah, definitely weird. But yeah, no, I have nothing to do with any of that kind of nonsense. I'm just me, small town guy, trying to live my life, trying to be happy. I think like most of us are, I think most of us are just trying to be happy. I am watching this around my campfire. Oh, that's very cool, Lori. I think that's awesome. That's a lot of fun. So, what's the address of the pavilion? It's called Eddie's. It's EDDYS Pavilion. So either entrance of the park that you come into, they're going to give you a map. So once you come into the park, and then you would just ask them, where is Eddie's Pavilion? And they will tell you exactly where it is, how to get there. You can't get lost. It's going to be a really, it's going to be really easy to find. So. Hitler's brain is in a jar somewhere, I've heard. Now, supposedly, Hitler was burned after he killed himself. Now, if he really did kill himself, nobody will ever know. But that was what was told to everybody, that he had committed suicide. Well, anyway, guys, it is 9 o'clock here already. Time goes by so freaking fast. So anyway, I do appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, you appreciate what I had to say. And, if you disagree, that's fine. We all have that right to disagree. And I always believe that. I respect anybody's right to their own opinion, as long as you don't try to force it down somebody else. Yeah, I know. Well, that's why when they said that Eddie's Pavilion was available, I had to get that pavilion just because it's so ironic. So, I want to thank all my moderators for doing a great job, like always, keeping things clean. I do appreciate them a lot. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Make sure you hit that bell notification, and it's set where you're going to get every notification. Excuse me. I post every single day. How many attendees so far? Quite a few, actually. Quite a few, Sandy, so far. I don't have an exact number, but it should be a lot of fun. We should have a good amount of people. So remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. And this tragedy is a great example of that. It really, truly is. And, I say that every time, but it's just it has so much more meaning after something like this happens. And remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you guys is you. Nobody else can stop you. I did want to mention something on that note. Somebody said they were selling Mary Kay products, and nobody's buying Mary Kay products anymore because they're expensive. And she goes, so how does that work, that nobody can stop you but you? Well, my thing with that is where one door closes, another one opens. So another opportunity will come to you that may be a better opportunity down the road. So that's the way I always look at any situation. Anytime I lost a job in my life, I didn't take it personally. I just looked at it as an opportunity. One door closes, another one opens. So that's the way to always look at things. So I hope everybody's doing well. I will see you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.